What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me. I want to talk about how XRP is the real digital gold, some updates in the crypto regulatory space, and some important macroeconomic information about a potential crash. So first off, this headline: Russia is to launch two crypto exchanges linked to the yuan and BRICS currency. This just goes to further the narrative that the dollar is being de-dollarized. It's losing influence, and these BRICS nations, including Russia, are looking more and more to alternatives, even in the crypto space, when it comes to being exposed to the dollar. Talking about rate cuts, a lot of people think after the rate cuts, the market just goes bullish. I've said this many times over the past few months. This is quite not the case. Look throughout history. So in the early 2000s, the first interest rate cut. Following that, the S&P fell 40% over the next year and a half. 2007 recession, first rate cut. What happens? S&P falls 54% over the next year. And we don't know if there will be a rate cut in September or December, but it's pretty much confirmed that one of those 2 months there will be a rate cut. I do expect to see a crash, right? Maybe not a crash, but definitely a market correction. Why? Because that's what history deduces. So just prepare yourself for that. You never want to go all in on an investment. Dollar cost averaging, that's why we do that exact strategy, because these dips, these crashes should always be seen as opportunities if you're playing the market right. Really quick, if you want to support the content, hit the like button. It's free. It gives me some positive feedback to let me know you're enjoying the content. So thank you in advance for supporting this channel. Did you guys see that billionaire whose boat in Sicily in the past week or two crashed and sunk? I don't know if you guys saw that. One of the leading guys at Morgan Stanley was also on that boat. Really interesting video. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to consume your time if you're not interested. But I guess this billionaire who passed away, RIP, had just settled one of the largest fraud cases in the world. This billionaire who passed away, he's known as the Bill Gates of Europe. And if you guys want to look down this rabbit hole, cancel Cloco on Twitter. He posts a lot of great videos about this kind of stuff. But I found this one really, really interesting. And Federal Reserve Jerome Powell spills the beans, saying we are also investing heavily right now in building a new settlement system for instant payments in the US. You better be. You haven't innovated that system since 1970. But take a listen to what Jerome has to say.
We're also, as you know, investing heavily right now in building a new settlement system for instant payments in the U.S. It'll be the first such major expansion of our core payment system since the 1970s. We found the case for this quite compelling for consumers, businesses, and just ensuring that all financial institutions.
So we know they've been working on the Fed now, and there's a lot of other alternatives. But one thing to keep in mind is Ripple's been doing this for 12 years, longer than any other company. They already have this relationships, and they're perfectly situated to capitalize on an opportunity like this. Yesterday, well, about 2 days ago at this point, Vitalik tweeted about how Ethereum is very good. And then yesterday, Vitalik calls the foundation of Ethereum to dump $100 million on the spot market. This just goes to show you got to be careful who you trust in crypto. Even founders like Vitalik, the market manipulation is rampant. And this reminds me of when JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin terrible, a rug pull, a Ponzi. And then that same weekend, JP Morgan made their largest Bitcoin buy in history. A lot of people talk about how the S&P 500 has had these miraculous gains over the past few decades. Look at this chart right here. If you adjust for the collapse in the dollar, which has absolutely fell through the floor the past 50 years, the S&P is actually unchanged. So while a lot of these older people who have had great returns on the 401ks and the stock market over the past 50 years, their real earnings haven't changed. The prices have gone up as the amount of money you have has gone up. And I just found this really interesting. I had never seen this before. S&P adjusted for in gold terms. And that's why you're seeing gold hit all-time highs right now as well. People know that the underlying economy is not healthy, and that's why they fly to safe havens like precious metals. Is XRP bottoming out versus Bitcoin? Chart fractals mirror a 500% rally setup. The XRP trading pair has bounced by over 50% against Bitcoin, meaning XRP has more potential right now in terms of price increases than Bitcoin, forming a local bottom at the beginning of June of this year. During 2020 rally, XRP Bitcoin chart encountered resistance at its 50-week exponential moving average, resulting in a pullback. It shows traders watch this 50-week exponential moving average as a key level where selling pressure identifies. In other words, XRP's Bitcoin ratio could rise by approximately 100% by 2024's end if it breaks above this pivotal level. We know when XRP moves, it moves very quick. Post-halving fractal furthers XRP's bullish outlook. Another bullish signal for XRP is Bitcoin's potential top in market dominance, which typically follows its halvings. For instance, the Bitcoin Dominance Index, this is just a metric that shows how much of the total crypto market is comprised by Bitcoin, dropped by over 70% after its second halving in July 2016, indicating that traders rotated their capital from Bitcoin markets to seek exposure in altcoins like XRP. XRP also looks underbought compared to Bitcoin in terms of US dollars. So a lot of bullish indicators on XRP in the short to medium term. And you have big channels like Good Morning Crypto now talking about XRP is the largest bull flag in history. Remember when XRP soared 60,000% in 240 days? XRP has been trading below an all-time high for 2,424 days. What other crypto that's in the top 10 that's been around for this time hasn't hit all-time highs in that long? That alone should give you potential. Forget the product market fit, forget the technology, forget the team at Ripple. Just that fact right there. And today, actually, XRP flipped USDC, the stablecoin, in crypto rankings. I believe it's now XRP is number 6, passing USDC, the second biggest stablecoin. What's your 2025 peak price projection for XRP? Guys, when you comment on the videos, positive feedback, negative feedback, all those comments, they help the video. So thank you in advance. And if you want to support the channel, answer this question in the comments. What's your 2025 peak price projection for XRP? I'll go ahead and say $27. Another XRP weekly chart analysis, talking about this chart pattern, how similar it looks to this 2017 explosion. Taking into consideration all of the growth Ripple's had as a company, all of the growth they've had in terms of partnerships. They finally have regulatory clarity, getting this last lawsuit ruling just as of recent. And it really does show it's an exciting time to be an XRP holder. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse because a lot of you are in the red. A lot of you are tired of holding XRP. You've been holding it for years. But on the flip side, if you've been holding it for years, you got to have a long-term time horizon. 1 year, 5 years is not a long-term time horizon in investments. And a great saying is time in the market beats timing the market, right? It's much easier to just hold something long-term and reap the benefits instead of trying to find, okay, it's the lowest price here, I'm going to sell it exactly at the highest price. No one ever really times the market perfectly. An interesting survey, 50 or 80 financial institutions responded to this questionnaire. Look what they said. People still don't realize how early we are. The question, they said, when do you see your organization using digital assets? An overwhelming majority said in the near short term, 0 to 2 years, 32%, 3 to 5 years, 32%. What do you think are the biggest risks when using digital assets? All of these risks right here, when it comes to Ripple and XRP, are delegitimized. KYC, anti-money laundering laws, perceived risks around governance and financial maturity, right? Ripple has 50% of the XRP supply locked forever in escrow, scheduled to come out. Lack of regulatory clarity, definitely not that with XRP. Volatility of the asset, XRP, pretty stable as of lately, right? Not too volatile of an asset. Unfamiliar technology, they're obviously extremely familiar with the Ripple technology. Do you currently use digital assets? Only 10% do. And a big barrier for this is the lack of regulatory clarity. These big institutions, they have hundreds of people on their legal team, are never going to be advised to use cryptocurrencies that don't have regulation. And this was from the Digital Assets Survey of 2024. A non-crypto event, Yemen Houthis just blew up a tanker in the Red Sea carrying 150,000 metric tons of oil. This will be one of the worst tanker oil spills in history. I didn't even see this until today. And Zach Rector speculates Black Swan right as the markets closed for the week on Friday. Stuart Alderati, head Ripple lawyer, chimed in on a court ruling. He says another court, this time in the Kraken case, confirms there is no such thing as a crypto asset security. Bad news for the SEC, whose entire regulation by enforcement strategy hinges on that failed premise. Okay, it's not just the Ripple lawsuit. Other judges, other legal teams are starting to provide more regulatory clarity around the space, and that's always good to see. Really quick, guys, if you need a spot to get XRP or Flare, I recommend Uphold. It's sleek, it's simple, it's secure. It's where I get my crypto daily. You can find a link in the video description below. And if you want $41 for free, sign up on Webull, deposit a penny, and you're guaranteed $41 in free stocks. You can get up to $3,000, but typically you just get 40 to 300 bucks of free stocks. Sell your stocks, close your account, do whatever you want. Great offer just for depositing a penny. You can also find Webull in the video description below. And this guy says XRP is the real digital gold for banks. Don't take my word for it. Look at the documentation. In the first picture, it's former Ripple CTO Stephen Thompson, quoted literally saying, banks will have gold that you can teleport into any vault in the world instantly by using the bridge currency XRP. In the second picture, the 2013 marketing brochure for XRP advertising the token as like gold in your hands. Instantaneous value change anywhere in the world, as it was designed to be the most liquid token on the ledger. The third image, titled Teleporting Gold, and proceeds to describe how XRP will solve banks' liquidity issues while mentioning Basel III compliance, the rules that banks have to comply with, and even exposes Ripple's big idea behind when XRP will be used by banks, when the liquidity gets high enough, and it's nowhere near that right now. Okay, Ripple needs a lot more mass adoption and probably more regulatory clarity globally. But when that liquidity gets high enough, XRP is going to be used by these big banks. And now a clip from Black Swan Capitalist, kind of building off that idea about the entire financial system being built around Ripple's protocols.
One of the biggest myths I would like to debunk is really the idea that XRP will never, first of all, gain traction, or that its price will always remain stagnant. XRP, people forget, is the backbone of liquidity in these markets. And it's really what connects, bridges, and even stabilizes currencies. So for XRP to effectively serve its purpose, the price has to be high. And many people don't understand this. And I firmly believe that the IMF is really playing a key role in ensuring this. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that the general public is not aware of. So think of it like this. Central banks are sitting at the table, they're setting the stage, agreeing on a price before it's fully introduced into the marketplace. Because for XRP to be utilized to move trillions and trillions of dollars between financial institutions, it's going to burn, and that will reduce its supply. And this is all about supply and demand. So the burn rate really ensures that XRP's value can only increase as it becomes more integrated into the global financial system. Another point that really needs clarification is the concept of a gold-backed XRP. Now, over the years, personally, I've said a lot of things, and I want people to understand that I've learned as I've gone about this, there is still a chance that XRP could be tied to gold, functioning really as a form of a digital gold for institutions that lack the necessary physical gold reserves to meet the Basel III requirements by the Bank of International Settlements. So XRP's design was for infinite scalability, and as a world reserve settlement mechanism, which it is actually intended to do, or replace the dollar's functionality. So I want people to understand the devil's in the detail. It's designed to replace the functionality of the dollar, not eliminate the dollar. And people often fail to really understand this because they don't truly understand how the technology works, but also how the traditional financial system works. And that's why my brother and I have tried so hard to bridge these two together. My final thought is that XRP could enable a gold-backed future through the stable coins that are being built on the XRP ledger. And that's what we see happening. So like I said, I learn as I go. And these stable coins, where do you think they derive their liquidity directly from? It's XRP through on-demand liquidity. Yet so many in the space truly fail to see the connection and even underestimate, people forget, is the backbone of—
So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thanks for giving me 14 minutes of your weekend. Hope you have a great weekend, and comment gold in the comment section below. Don't take your 15 minutes for granted. Time is money. It's valuable. If you're one of my lowest supporters and watch the full video, make sure you comment gold in the comment section below. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. Have a great start to your week. Until next time, my friends.